What happens when the faces that defined beauty, fame, and perfection become impossible to recognize? In Hollywood, youth is currency, and flaws are unforgivable, pushing stars to chase an illusion at any cost. For some, that chase ended in disaster. Behind the glamour lies a darker truth, where confidence turns into desperation and beauty becomes a battlefield. Today, we uncover 10 of the most shocking plastic surgery stories, tracing the heartbreaking journey from stardom to irreversible tragedy. Daryl Hannah was once the embodiment of natural Hollywood beauty. In the 1980s, she captivated audiences as the ethereal mermaid in Splash, with piercing blue eyes, soft golden hair, and an effortless girl-next-door charm. There was something rare about her presence, a balance of innocence and mystery that made her unforgettable in films like Blade Runner, Roxanne, and Splash. Her face was expressive, gentle, and alive. She didn't just play romantic leads, she defined them. But as time passed, Hollywood's obsession with youth began to cast its shadow. Like many women under constant public scrutiny, Hannah reportedly turned to cosmetic enhancements in hopes of preserving the image audiences remembered. What may have started as subtle treatments gradually became more noticeable. Fillers and Botox smoothed her features, but they also reduced the natural expressiveness that once made her face so magnetic. Her appearance sparked ongoing debate about aging, beauty standards, and the impossible expectations placed on actresses. Today, Daryl Hannah rarely addresses rumors about plastic surgery. Instead, she has chosen a very different path. She stepped away from Hollywood spotlight to focus on environmental activism, filmmaking, and a quiet life alongside musician Neil Young. Red carpets were replaced with sustainability projects and documentaries. While her appearance has changed, her legacy remains intact. A reminder that even the most natural beauty is not immune to time, pressure, or Hollywood's unforgiving standards. Lil Kim. Lil Kim emerged in the mid-1990s as one of the most powerful and unapologetic female voices in hip-hop. With her bold fashion, sharp lyrics, and undeniable confidence, she redefined what it meant to be a woman in a male-dominated industry. Her beauty was distinctive petite, fierce, and expressive, but it was also constantly judged under unforgiving public standards. Unlike many celebrities, Lil Kim has openly stated that her first cosmetic procedures were not driven by vanity, but by trauma. She endured an abusive relationship that deeply damaged her self-image, pushing her to seek surgery as a form of emotional repair. What began as an attempt to heal gradually turned into a cycle of repeated alterations: nose jobs, facial restructuring, and fillers that dramatically transformed her appearance. Over time, fans struggled to recognize the artist they once knew. Each new public appearance sparked intense media scrutiny, memes, and harsh criticism. The conversation shifted away from her musical influence and towards speculation about her face. In trying to escape pain and reclaim control, Lil Kim slowly erased the physical markers of her identity. Her story is not one of superficial obsession, but of unresolved psychological wounds magnified by fame. Lil Kim represents a tragic intersection of trauma, beauty standards, and celebrity culture. Today, her journey stands as a sobering reminder that cosmetic surgery cannot heal emotional scars, and that true empowerment begins not with changing one's face, but with confronting the pain beneath it. In the 1980s, Jennifer Grey had one of the most recognizable faces in Hollywood. With her expressive eyes, curly hair, and distinctive nose, she possessed a natural, unconventional beauty that felt refreshingly real. Her breakout role in Dirty Dancing captured that magic perfectly. She wasn't a traditional leading lady, and that's exactly why audiences fell in love with her. Almost overnight, she became America's sweetheart. But in the wake of that success, Hollywood's rigid beauty standards began to close in. Feeling pressure to look more marketable, Jennifer made a decision that would forever change her life and career. She underwent 2 rhinoplasty surgeries, hoping they would open more doors. The first was subtle. The second went too far. Her nose was altered so dramatically that even close friends failed to recognize her. In one infamous moment, actor Michael Douglas reportedly didn't realize who she was at a public event. The surgery didn't just change her face, it erased her identity. Roles disappeared, casting calls stopped. The woman who had defined an era suddenly became invisible. Jennifer later called the surgery her unforgivable crime, admitting she had unknowingly exiled herself from Hollywood. Yet her story didn't end in defeat. In recent years, she has reclaimed her voice, embracing self-acceptance and resilience. Now in her 60s, Jennifer Grey has found peace with her past, proving that even when Hollywood takes your face, it can never take your spirit. In the late 1990s and early 2000s, Tara Reid embodied the ultimate Hollywood dream. With her sun-kissed blonde hair, bright blue eyes, and carefree charm, she became a pop culture sensation through films like American Pie and The Big Lebowski. Her playful energy and girl-next-door appeal made her a red carpet favorite, seemingly destined for lasting stardom. But in 2004, what she believed would be minor cosmetic fixes changed everything. Tara underwent breast augmentation and liposuction, hoping to correct small imperfections. Instead, the results were devastating. The liposuction was overly aggressive, leaving her abdomen uneven, scarred, and visibly damaged. Her breast surgery went far beyond what she requested, resulting in asymmetry, scarring, and deformed nipples. Almost overnight, Tara became a tabloid headline and the public face of plastic surgery gone wrong. Humiliated and struggling with severe body image issues, she retreated from the spotlight. Multiple corrective surgeries followed, but the damage, both physical and emotional, had already been done. Her once promising career stalled as Hollywood quietly turned away. In later years, Tara spoke openly about her regret, admitting she never imagined things could go so wrong. Today, she has slowly rebuilt her life, returning to acting in independent films and cult projects like Sharknado. While the scars remain, Tara Reid's story stands as a powerful reminder of how chasing perfection can cost far more than anyone expects. Kenny Rogers was once admired for his rugged charm and weathered good looks, the kind of authentic masculinity that couldn't be manufactured. His warm smile and soulful eyes reflected a life fully lived, helping make him one of the most beloved figures in country music. For decades, his appearance felt as genuine as the stories he sang in timeless hits like The Gambler and Islands in the Stream. But in 2006, Rogers made a decision that would permanently change how the world saw him. Hoping to appear more youthful, he underwent several cosmetic procedures, including an eye lift that became one of the most talked-about plastic surgery mishaps in entertainment history. According to Rogers, his surgeon believed lifting the outer corners of his eyes would create a fresher look. Instead, it left him with unnaturally high brows and a constant, startled expression. The delicate balance of his face was altered, and fans were stunned by how unrecognizable he appeared. Rogers later spoke openly about his regret, admitting that the results were not what he had hoped for, and that he wished he had never gone through with the surgery. Despite his disappointment, Kenny Rogers continued performing and recording music until his retirement in 2017. Before his passing in 2020, he made peace with his appearance and focused on family, legacy, and honesty, turning his experience into a cautionary tale about chasing youth in a world obsessed with looks. Amanda Lepore's transformation is unlike any other on this list because it was never an accident. It was a deliberate and unapologetic act of self-creation. Beginning at just 15 years old, Amanda made the conscious decision to transform her body into what she once described as a living work of art. Inspired by classic Hollywood bombshells and the exaggerated fantasy of Jessica Rabbit, she pursued a hyper-feminine vision of beauty that pushed every boundary. Over the years, Amanda underwent hundreds of cosmetic procedures. These included multiple breast augmentations, lip enlargements, repeated nose surgeries, and even a controversial rib removal performed in Mexico to achieve her signature hourglass shape. Silicone injections in her hips, thighs, and face further sculpted the extreme look that would later make her one of the most recognizable figures in New York's underground fashion and nightlife scene. The transformation came at an enormous physical, emotional, and financial cost, earning her the nickname, the woman with the most expensive body in the world. Yet unlike many others, Amanda has never expressed regret. She embraces her appearance as a form of artistic expression and personal freedom. Today, Amanda Lepore continues to thrive as a model, performance artist, and LGBTQ+ icon. Critics may call her look unnatural, but she insists it represents empowerment. To Amanda, beauty isn't about blending in, it's about becoming unforgettable. Katie Price, once known to the world as Jordan, built her fame on boldness, controversy, and an image that dominated British pop culture in the late 1990s and early 2000s. Her glamorous modeling career made her instantly recognizable, but what began as a single breast augmentation to enhance her look quickly spiraled into one of the most extreme cases of cosmetic surgery addiction in modern celebrity history. Over the years, Katie underwent dozens of procedures, massive breast enlargements reportedly reaching nearly 900 cc, repeated facelifts, nose jobs, lip fillers, and extensive body contouring. Each surgery promised improvement, yet pushed her further away from her natural appearance. Her face became increasingly tight and feline-like, her proportions dramatically altered beyond recognition. The risks grew more severe with time. During one recent facelift, Katie reportedly required blood transfusions and later admitted she feared she might not survive the recovery. Despite these near-death experiences, she continued returning to the operating table, trapped in a cycle of correction and regret. What makes Katie Price's story especially unsettling is her honesty. She has openly admitted that cosmetic surgery became an addiction, a coping mechanism that slowly took control of her life. Alongside physical consequences, she faced bankruptcy, legal troubles, and relentless public scrutiny. Today, her transformation stands as a sobering warning. When beauty becomes obsession, the cost can reach far deeper than the skin. Pete Burns. Pete Burns, the unforgettable frontman of Dead or Alive, was an icon of the 1980s with his bold, androgynous beauty and fearless self-expression. His look challenged gender norms long before mainstream culture was ready, making him both admired and scrutinized. But behind the striking image was a man deeply affected by insecurity and public pressure. Everything changed after a failed nose surgery in the early 1990s. What was meant to be a minor cosmetic procedure went terribly wrong, causing severe damage and infections. Instead of stopping, Burns became trapped in a relentless cycle of corrective surgeries, reportedly undergoing more than 300 procedures over the years. Each operation promised restoration, but instead led to further complications, chronic pain, and a face increasingly distant from the one fans remembered. The physical toll was devastating, but the emotional and financial consequences were equally severe. Burns spoke openly about his struggles, including periods of bankruptcy and declining health. His once celebrated image became a symbol of excess and tragedy in the tabloids, overshadowing his musical legacy. Pete Burns passed away in 2016 at the age of 57 from cardiac arrest, leaving behind a story that is both fascinating and heartbreaking. His life stands as a stark reminder of how the pursuit of perfection, especially under constant public scrutiny, can spiral into obsession. More than a cautionary tale about cosmetic surgery, Pete Burns' story is about the cost of losing oneself in the search for an ideal that never truly exists. These stories revealed the hidden cost of living in a world where perfection is demanded and aging is treated like failure. Behind every altered face is a human story shaped by pressure, fear, trauma, and impossible expectations. Plastic surgery itself isn't the villain, but obsession, insecurity, and silence can turn it into a life-altering tragedy. Fame may amplify beauty, but it also magnifies vulnerability. As viewers, we're reminded to question the standards we celebrate and the price we ask others to pay. If these stories moved you, share your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss our next deep dive into the untold side of fame.